There we are. I made a little mistake there. I think I just went live on the main channel for a second or two. Gonna have to get that out of there. But here we are on the second channel, and we're live tonight with a little Q&A that we're gonna do. If you're coming here from the main channel, then sorry about that. I forgot to put the right stream key in my OBS software, so yeah, messed that up a little bit. Anyway, here we are on the second channel. Just looking at that right now, it looks yeah, I went live on the wrong channel. Sorry guys. But here we are. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm thinking, does this look okay? There we go. Maybe it looks a little better. Looks kind of blurred or something on that channel. Anyways, how's it going, Trini, Darth, Kathy, Carrie? That was just my error. You know, I got to remember that when I go stream on one channel, I got to put the right key in the next channel when I'm going to, you know, change up. So made that little mistake there. I'm doing good. I'm good over here. Still really chilly here where I live. Hoping it gets warmer out. It's just, you know, I always see the darkness. Sleep through the day. Now it's dark. When are things going to change? All right, so I let you guys know on the little mess up there that I did. So Craig was going to be on tonight, but he informed me that he can't do so. So it's just me tonight. Sorry. Molly says there's loads of toilet paper at the supermarkets. Everyone can enjoy. Good to hear. 70 degrees in Chicago today. And it's chilly right now where I live. Let's see what it's at right now. 52 degrees. I guess it could be worse, but I'm going to probably take the dogs for another walk after this live stream because it's not too chilly, so. Oh, you know what? And I forgot my water bottle. I'm usually like slurping on my water bottle. I don't have it. So over on my Twitch stream earlier today, I learned how to play Risk with No Egg Craig. So that was pretty fun. Never played the game before. Known about it ever since I was a kid. Just never played it. Played it on stream. Oh, and Darth, I logged onto my stream account, which I haven't logged on since 10 years ago. And I have Left 4 Dead 2. And I used to play that, and I totally forgot. I have no recollection of it until I saw like a screenshot of it, and I was like, oh, okay, I remember. So I did used to play that game. I don't know if that's the one you were talking about. Yeah, so if anybody goes over to the main channel and sees that, then they'll know to come over here now because I made that little mistake. So we played Risk on Steam. I think I first got Steam when I played Skyrim a long time ago. So I just had to go log back on, remember my password, redo a password, and there I am. It was fun. I won. Beginner's luck, right? That is the game? Okay, well then I guess I have it. Left 4 Dead 2. The only two games I own on Steam is Left 4 Dead 2 and Skyrim. So, since I own it, maybe I'll check it out again. Maybe we'll do a stream on it. I don't recall anything from it, but I guess it wasn't that good if I stopped playing it. Unless I just didn't get it. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it again 10 years later. So, what are we talking about tonight? I had to have a change of plans since I don't have Craig on. Craig's not going to join us tonight. I must try that. I've got to say I've been playing a lot of EverQuest during this lockdown. And so Craig told me, it's funny, Craig told me last week that I should totally do a stream from my kitchen, which we've talked about this for years, like trying to do a stream while I'm cooking and stuff, and I just felt like it was too hard of a setup to actually do it. So I'm going to actually try it. He told me that I should try it out, that a lot of people were excited when he did it, so that I should do it. So I decided that this Thursday, I think, in a couple days, I'm going to try to live stream in my kitchen on the main channel, and we're going to make some pizza, because I make pizza all the time. So pizza from scratch, maybe something like that. And then he said that he's making pizza on Friday. So yeah, pizza. We'll see how that goes. See if you guys like that setup, just because, I don't know. It's, it's hard not being able to get out of the house and stuff. So maybe we can, set everything up downstairs in my kitchen, and you guys can cook along with me. Something like that. Kika's still talking about the animal liberation laws, and I just want to clarify something. But Kika wants to know what animal liberation laws I would like to see implemented in 2020. Well, you kind of got to start from the bottom up. I would like to see that fur and fur shops would just be banned. People already are in agreement, most people, whether they're vegan or not, that fur is bad. That would be a good law to get in place. Now, I think our disagreement it wasn't for animal liberation laws. My disagreement was you're not going to change people's mind by saying all of a sudden, if you just implemented the law and said it's now illegal to eat meat, which I don't disagree. I would love that for that to be the case. But my problem was implementing an idealistic view like that in a realistic world. It just isn't going to work like that. And I think it was counterproductive to veganism. And that was where my argument was coming from. And I didn't feel like I could explain that, or I didn't even really want to explain that in a comment, because it's too much to talk about where my ideas are coming from for me to go there and type everything away. So I'll just tell you guys right now. So the reason why I think that's not going to work, if you said, okay, we have a new law in place, now meat is illegal tomorrow. And the reason for this is because, first of all, you're not going to change people's mind. You're not going to have people go vegan because you changed a law, because you didn't get them up there. They didn't make the connection. Now something that they always did is now illegal. You're going to have a bunch of mad people at vegans. You're going to have people that are going to target vegans, to target vegan establishments, and want this law overturned immediately. You're going to create, just by definition, you're going to create a lot of crime. You're going to put a lot of burden on law enforcement, the legal system, jails, all kinds of different things by doing that. And we tried this before. We tried prohibition. We said we're going to outlaw alcohol. It's illegal to produce, consume, sell, distribute anything with alcohol. People revolted against that. They felt like their rights were being taken away, and they ended up reversing the law. And that's exactly what would happen here if we made it illegal to eat meat, because you're not going to make vegans. You're going to make more people hate vegans. You're gonna have bootleg activity going on, people producing meat and dairy on their own and selling it, and now it's gonna go for way more money, because now it's like an illegal product. Because people don't see, unfortunately there's a lot of people that don't see animals as beings. They see animals as a commodity. So what you want to do is you want to get them to make the connection and make that choice themselves, rather than forcing them to do something that is against. Because what's going to happen is that law is going to eventually be repealed, and they're going to say, we're never going to go there again, because remember what happened when we did it last time? No, that's never going to happen again. So that's why it's important to go about these things in a way that's going to make people consciously choose to do the right thing. I don't know what you're talking about here. I've never met Abe Lincoln, so. Yeah, but that was what our argument was. That was my argument with Darth, saying make it illegal to eat meat. So yeah, that's I don't see that coming. I don't see that happening in a realistic world, unfortunately. What did Abe Lincoln do to them? That's out of context. I don't know what you're talking about. The problem here is people don't see, like I said, they don't see animals as beings. They see certain animals as a commodity. So that's why, what would you propose to do? Not do anything at all? Because I think you're coming from a mindset that is, new to this. And I've seen this throughout the years, and I know in my belief, the right way and the wrong way to go about this, to changing this, because you don't have the power to invoke. People have free will to do what they want, and unfortunately, there's more people that are going to continue to want to eat their food and not see animals as commodities. So what we're trying to do is open their eyes to the fact that animals are not a commodity. They're a being just like you, me, like your dog, like your cat. All animals, they all have feelings. So the better we can make people understand that this is wrong, and the more we can make people see this, then I think it's going to dwindle down in time. And with, certain laws, but I don't think you can go and say it's illegal now to eat meat. That was my problem with your argument. You can't just come in and say it is now illegal to eat meat. As much as I would like to see that happen, it's not going to happen. At least not, I don't think, in my lifetime. Maybe in 100 years or so. Low audio. Is everybody else getting low audio, or is it just some people? I haven't changed anything, so I'm hesitant to change anything on the settings right now. We do need re-education, and I think that's what we're doing. We're having a whole new society be, like we were talking about before. Children are being raised as vegans. They're having a whole new mindset from, when we were kids. So, yeah, audio is fine. Everybody's saying audio is fine, so maybe it's your audio. Daniel, thank you for the super chat there with the, what's that, cup of coffee? Thank you. $4 super chat. I appreciate it, Daniel. I think that's what we're doing, little by little, when we make it illegal to have fur, to I mean, I know that there are little laws and they could be called hypocritical towards other animals, but I mean, banning like shark fin soup, stuff like that. Things that are really especially cruel, wearing mink, wearing fur, that is looked down upon. And if we can get people to see the same thing with where their meat is coming from, slaughterhouses and stuff, people just generally try not to think where their food's coming from. Like they know, but they don't want to know. So that's what we need to do. You're right. We need re-education for sure. You never said it was. Then there was a miscommunication there because that was the only thing that I disagreed with. And I think you were arguing with me in a prior video, but Darth said something, make it illegal to eat meat. And I don't think that's going to happen overnight. Because again, you're not going to make people go vegan by saying it's illegal to eat meat. they're still going to want to eat meat, and they're going to be, I think it's going to be counterproductive to what we're trying to do if we put that law in place. It's illegal to eat meat. I really do. But I think people need to wake up to like what's going on now, these pandemics, and how they can happen through zoonotic cross contamination from an animal to a human, and primarily the wet markets and stuff. So if people can see the connection there, plus the dairy industry is definitely going under. They're dumping more product than they're selling, and there's a reason for that, and it's not because of a pandemic. They can use all the excuses they want, but it's been happening for a while now, and the only reason they're still around is because of subsidies from the government. No, you said make it illegal to eat meat. That's what you said. And like I said, I don't want to keep going back to it, but that's not going to happen, and that's the wrong message. That's right there. That is counterproductive, and I felt I needed as a vegan to say something, because I think that would end up hurting more animals than saving them by a silly statement like that. I think you're wrong. I agree with that. I agree with that, Molly. Let's make evidence-based nutrition education mandatory in schools. The thing that gets me is a lot of doctors still like to turn a blind eye to the fact that, a plant-based diet, a fully 100% plant-based diet, let's not talk about ethics with the doctors, because a lot of them are not about that. But if they switch to stop eating animals, they first of all, there's nothing to say you're not going to be healthy. You can get everything you need from plants, and you can avoid a lot of diseases and stuff just from health. Cancers, heart disease, high cholesterols. All these things lead into death in this country and other parts of the world by eating animals. So, I think that doctors need to stop, spreading like, you guys know, it's like a circle. It's, you get sick, and instead of trying to combat the cause of the disease, they just want to give you medicine and not talk about what you're putting in your body. And you're coming back and you're getting sick, you're taking the medicine, you're coming back, and it's a cycle. It's like, oh, well, we'll figure out how to get your cholesterol down. We'll give you this. It's like, why don't you just say stop eating that? Stop eating animals. It's not rocket science. Yeah, doctors get very, very minimal training, but you would think it's pretty, today's day and age, it's pretty out there that it's pretty common, common knowledge that you stay away from the meat and the dairy and try to eat more, plants and stuff if you want to stay healthy. And I think that it's kind of just an excuse now for doctors, for people to say, because you're right, doctors only get one course in nutrition, but, they're living in 2020 now, and, they're not stupid. It's in current events, it's everywhere. I think that they would know that, plants are the way to go, and I'm sick of these like anti-vegans saying that we're like unhealthy and stuff, just because we're vegan, like anybody can be unhealthy, but just the notion that you go vegan, they think that you're unhealthy. It's ridiculous. You're right. Dr. Greger is a fantastic resource. Um, he looks at the science. He's a accredited doctor, and yes, if you have any questions, I definitely check out Dr. Greger, How Not to Die, and also his nutritionfacts.org. Yeah, I haven't had any doctor really tell me that I can't be vegan. Even 20 years ago, my doctor, I told him, I'm vegan. He's like, yeah, that's fine. But I've heard horror stories from a lot of other people. Chris, how do our animals have any say in our capitalist system is so corrupt that neoliberalism wants to keep the status quo? I think you're asking the wrong people. You need to ask the people that aren't vegan, that aren't trying to dedicate their life to abolishing animal exploitation. And did I say that right? What did I say? The people that are not trying this, the people who are not vegan and not doing something about it. Those are the people that you want to ask. I'm doing everything I know how to make a difference. And I think that anybody that goes vegan is making a difference just in their everyday life. Just that decision that they make, because it's only going to get bigger and bigger, and people are going to finally wake up. And, unfortunately, it's not going to happen tomorrow. And you might be mad about that, but what really can you do? Can you be mad every single day of your life? You gotta live your life. You gotta do there's bad things happening every second of every minute of every day that we are alive. And if you focus on that, you're not gonna have an ounce of peace or clarity in your life. You need to focus on what you can do instead of, worrying about what you can't do. And, maybe you disagree with that, but that's the way I see it. The China study, I actually have it, but I haven't read it yet. I think eventually people will all come to the conclusion that a healthy, properly plant-based diet is absolutely sufficient to be healthy. Graven Baby says, my thyroid doctor is a vegan. Well, my brother and his wife changed the doctor's mind. They had a pediatrician with Katie, and she went to the doctor, and my sister-in-law said, she's vegan. She's been vegan since birth. And they said, oh, she can't. She needs to eat meat. She needs some dairy. And she's like, why? She goes like, look, I'm gonna order you to do some blood tests, and I don't think this is a smart idea. And she did some blood tests on her, and it all came back, and her blood test came back, better than anybody else's she's seen. And she's like, the evidence was right there in front of her, and she's like, okay, well, you've got my attention there, and they've been fine ever since. So I don't know if she's like doing research on it, or hopefully giving that information to other people, which I would hope is what they would do. Yeah, I had that problem, not with, my one doctor did say one thing to me that when I went in there, he said, there's no diet that has ever been proven to be healthier than another diet. And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think you're right there. But my blood test showed him the proof that was in the pudding. Debro, I totally agree. That's what I'm talking about. The power of one can educate and change others. When people say, what good am I? Like, I'm just one person. What can I do? You're wrong. You're wrong. I used to think that way, and I was wrong. One person can definitely change other people. Yeah, if you inspire other people to go vegan, no matter what it is, no matter if it's you have a YouTube channel, you talk to somebody in person, you met somebody on the street, somebody came up to you and asked what you were eating at a restaurant, and you were able to tell them what you're eating and why you're eating it. Hey, you can plant a seed like that, and you never know, that other person might go on to do great things because of that chance meeting with you so many years prior, whenever you guys met. So yeah. Oh, vegan pajamas. That's awesome to hear that. Me, Gregor, Joseph were the sole reasons for you beginning and staying vegan for 4 years. Well, congrats on that. I love hearing stories like that when somebody goes vegan and stays vegan and they're coming up on their vegan anniversaries, like, 1 to 10, 15, 20 years. It's awesome. It's awesome to hear that. Congrats, Matthew. Yeah, whenever, that's a win. Whenever you can, convince somebody to go vegan or start eating more vegan or whatever the case is, having that discussion, because again, people have free will. You cannot force somebody to think a certain way. I'm not a cult. We're not a cult. We don't do that. We just spread the message the best we can. And I'm always open that if anybody ever has any questions, they can come to me. I want to do everything I can to make somebody go vegan. For instance, when Josh decided to go vegan, I did everything, even if it was, out of my way or something. I did everything I could. I'm like, I showed him, like, boom, showed him where to go eat. Oh, you're hungry? I'll make you this. I'll make it taste delicious. I'll cook up some food and let you try all these things so that you can have some good food, because he's never cooked any vegan food. So I'll do it for you the right way. I'm gonna change your mind. I'm gonna make you stay vegan, and you're gonna want to do it on your own. So yeah, stuff like that. It feels good knowing that you're doing something, because then that's one less person that is out there, and that's another person that is also doing, the work of promoting it to other people. You would say that you've inspired some people to make plant-based choices, but I know they will never go vegan. Well, just keep at it. Keep at it. You'll find people that will go vegan. If you're coming into contact with people and you're not isolated, well, I guess we're all isolated right now, but in normal situations, friends, whatever, to meeting new people, it's a good feeling to get people to go vegan. I gotta say, and I'm not trying to toot my horn, but I've heard of it. Like, one of the reasons why I never, even when I'm really frustrated with my channel, why I never quit my channel is because I literally get people like every day telling me that I help them in some way go vegan, and that makes me feel good, and that makes me continue to do what I'm doing. So, I've been at this for 11 years. You think, all those people that have said that, like, how can I stop doing what I do? Because it's a good feeling when you get people to go vegan. So yeah, because then they're getting other people. So it's like a pyramid effect, not a pyramid scheme, but like a domino effect. Do I think ET? I think a higher life form, extraterrestrial life, would definitely be vegan, and I think humans will be vegan in the future. I don't know how long in the future, but I think we'll eventually look back, and then there you go, Darth. Then there will be, well, there won't even probably need to be laws at that point, where they'll look back and they'll be like, I can't believe people used to eat animals at one point. So I do think that will happen. And for somebody to, like, you look at all these extraterrestrial life as far as science fiction and stuff. You got like Spock. Spock, I believe, was a vegan. How can you be of that higher intelligence? Meaning, you get it. Higher intelligence wouldn't be that barbaric, and know that you can survive on plants and you don't need to kill other beings. It's really what it comes down to. I think there's a lot of things that people just don't really think. They don't really think about. And one of those is what animals actually go through so that you can get, a sausage on your plate or whatever. And if you saw it go from point A to point B, most people wouldn't eat it in the first place. But they don't have to see that. And yeah, that's why we're doing what we do. I disagree with you, Darth. I think we can do great things as individuals and free expression and free market to do this, to do the right thing. I think you start taking that away from people, and that's where it fails. I feel an obligation at this point, being vegan as long as I have to share that knowledge and experience with other people. And one thing that I have that, not everybody, but a lot of people don't have is, when these anti-vegans say they scare people away by saying you can't be vegan long term. You talk about 10, 15 years, you're going to waste away. You're going to have all these medical problems. You talk about 20 years and you're done. And here I am, healthy as can be, 25 years vegan. So, I put their arguments to shame right there. So there's always going to be a large majority of people that never care. But you know what? If they never care and, you present them with an alternative, and you make that alternative subsidized, just like meat and dairy, you're right. They never cared, and they're still not going to care. As long as they can eat something that tastes familiar to them, that's cheap for them, I think they're going to make the switch. Because why? If you can eat something and it just becomes commonplace. Right now, it's still pretty new, for people to eat like a vegan burger. And see them like, wow, that Impossible Burger, I didn't even know I thought it was a meat burger. When you start making it so commonplace that they don't really care anymore because they never cared in the first place, I think eventually it'll phase everything out and they can still have the same food without the cruelty. And that's the direction I see things going. We still need a few more years, but I mean, for instance, the Just Egg this is just one that I read about recently. They're trying to get they got like a huge plant so they can make this more affordable, and the more and more affordable they make it, you're going to go to the store and you're going to be like, all right, they're both the same price. But in actuality, without the subsidies, the meat and the dairy would be really expensive in the first. It takes a lot of money to raise an animal, to grow the animal for however many years, or if you're talking about certain animals, months before they bring them to slaughter. Because you got to remember what people don't, I didn't even understand the full scale of this either until I went to, the Mockingbird Farm Sanctuary when I was doing a video there, and Sophie the cow, she's a 2,200 pound cow, just seeing how much she eats in a day and drinks in a day. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. That's crazy how much. Now you think about, you have all these factory farmed animals that are eating all of that every day for however long that, they keep these animals before they end up killing them. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money that you're doing when you could just make a vegan patty, a vegan burger. And do away with all the subsidies over there. When it comes down to it, the vegan food is cheaper to make. It comes straight from the source. It comes from the grains and the plants, which is secondary for the animals because the animals have to eat those grains and plants and and then, you know, bulk up, grow, and then be slaughtered. So it's like, you know, it's crazy to really think about it. I think people are coming around. It's all about the supply and the demand. If the demand's not there anymore, they're gonna finally stop doing what they're doing. I mean, these dairy farmers are trying to still hold on to something that's just dying, just like the animals. Yeah, Sophie's like a big dog. She reminded me of Indy. Sophie is the cow at Mockingbird. Right Ash says, I have not eaten meat in my life. That's awesome. I wish I never did either. I've been 30 years with no meat. But yeah, that's awesome being raised vegetarian at least. Not eating any meat. You're definitely not missing anything. Yeah, I'm actually, yeah, it's frustrating when people say like I'm an animal lover while they're eating an animal. Um, somebody somebody said it pretty good. I forgot who said it, but somebody said um, you're not an animal lover if you're eating animals. You're a pet lover. You love your pets. Yeah, no doubt, Darth. There's still a demand for meat. There definitely is. Which, like I said, I don't think everybody's all going to go vegan, and the majority of the population isn't vegan. But on the flip side of that coin, I don't think everybody sees where it came from. Like when I went vegan, it was like unheard of for a vegan to even say the word, for hear somebody else know what it meant to be a vegan. But today in 2020, like the population is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger with vegans, and it's going to keep doubling, just like the pandemic doubled. But it's going to keep doubling in size, keep going up and up and up and up, and it hasn't it hasn't it hasn't decreased. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and that is going to make people open their eyes. You know. And you got to think about that. People that are going vegan and the populations of vegans are getting bigger. There's more people that are eating, even though they're not vegan, they're changing their diets around, so they're eating, you know, maybe not all meat anymore. Now maybe they're doing like 70% plants instead, which before that they weren't. And you know, we've got these documentaries coming out, and celebrities and athletes and all kinds of people that are promoting a vegan diet, and people are like, well, I want to be like that person, I want to be like this person, and if that person's doing it, that's the right thing. Whatever the reason that they're getting into it, and then they're seeing and they're making the connection. People are making the connection every day. It's just going to get bigger and bigger. And you're right, there's always going to be a demand for meat, and I think it's going to be in the future. I don't know how long in the future, but I think eventually you won't see it anymore. Maybe some people will still hunt or whatever, but I think it will greatly start decreasing. I don't know how long that's going to be, but I've seen it come from pretty much nothing to where it is today, where it's actually a thing. And the other thing about veganism that I've always known, and part of the reason when I made my YouTube channel that I knew it was going to catch on, was because you know, there's a lot of diets out there, and there's a lot of fad diets, and veganism isn't a fad diet. It's not a diet at all. And because of that, more people are going to, you know, continue to go vegan and stay vegan. You know, and I know there's people that, you know, try it out and they don't stick with it, but you know, I think that we're looking at is that the people that are, you know, you're seeing more and more of it all the time. And that goes with big corporations, big companies that are making vegan products now, and some companies that have gone vegan altogether because of it. Some restaurants that have gone all vegan because of it. That were not vegan restaurants in the first place and ended up going vegan and turned their entire restaurant vegan. I mean, that goes to show something. That goes to show times are changing. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, because it's not a fad. But fads die out, and that's why I said, unlike Atkins diet or keto or whatever, vegan isn't just a diet. I mean, if you're, I am a vegan, so I call my diet a vegan diet because, like I said before, what I do is vegan. I am a vegan, so I choose to call everything I do vegan. These are my vegan clothes. That's my vegan diet. This is my vegan lifestyle. But some people distinguish plant-based and vegan. So, going vegan it's not a fad. It's a way of life, and it's only going to keep getting bigger and bigger. And the reason for that is just simply because people like to do the right thing, and most people don't inherently want to go out and hurt animals. And when they make the connection, they say, I don't want anything to do. That's what I did. I don't want anything to do with being part of a system that's hurting animals. And that's why I'm going to do the best thing that I can as an individual, the best choice I can do, and that is to choose not to put animals into my mouth and eat them. So the best thing one person can do is to go vegan. And, that's why, I make this channel. That's why everything I do is to basically try to make people's lives easier so they can make animals' lives easier. Try to make everything I can to show people how easy it is, or, tips and tricks or whatever it is to have somebody go vegan. Yeah, you're gonna see. I've seen a few of those, Sean, where they have vegan chefs on the Chop Network. You're right. People are selfish, but because of what we're doing here, we're trying to build them a bridge to say, come on over. A lot of people are selfish, but not everybody is. And even people that are selfish, you show them the way. And like, I'm not going to throw, my glove down and say, or not my glove, but, I'm not going to get up and quit because somebody's selfish. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing, which I've done since the day I started this journey. So you just got to have a mentality. Not everybody's going to listen to you. Not everybody's going to follow a vegan lifestyle, but you got to do your best to, continue to promote it. And I found, this is my calling. This is how I found a way where I could go every day or every other day or have videos up there, hundreds, thousands of videos on YouTube to promote it. And I continue to make these videos. So I'm out there continually doing activism to make the world a better place, to get more people to go vegan. If I never did this, how many people would I not have, open to, maybe they would have found it somewhere else, or maybe they wouldn't have. How many animals have we saved? I mean, just saving one is a good feeling, but there's so many out there. And the other thing is, there's so many animals that are needlessly brought into the world for selfish reasons, because we don't need to do this. And I refuse to feel bad about this because, like I said, that's my mentality, that's my belief, because there's always something bad happening in the world. And when when you're down, when you feel bad, it just, at least for me, when I feel bad, I just don't feel like doing anything. I just feel bad, you know? So I continue to try to do what I know that I can do, knowing that there's always going to be something bad happening. So the vegan chef is in the finals. Well, you know, Chef Chloe won on the, what was it, Cupcake Wars? And, you know, she made it to the finals, and that was years ago. And I'm not a cupcake person, but when I went to her restaurant and I tried the cupcake, I was like, that's why she won. That was an amazing cupcake. So I think we all agree. I think we all can agree with you, Darth, that we hate the exploitation of animals. And I think it's because they can't do anything, you know? Like, we're the only ones that can really make, you know, we are their voice. And unfortunately, we can't just like run in and say, all right, guys, like you said, like we can't go say, okay, it's now illegal. You can't do it anymore. It's illegal to do it. As much as I would like to say, yeah, that would be great. It's just, it's not going to happen. We are the minority right now. Vegans are the minority. And nobody's going to pass that. Nobody's going to pass that. At least not right now. But, you know, hopefully, you know, I keep saying this, but, you know, I hope that it's in my lifetime that this happens, but I think we can only do, you know, so much. Nobody can just go in there and say, all right, be all end all, boom, done. So that's why we all come together and we try to all do whatever we can to make things right, as much as we can. So, but I think it's great that okay, so the one big difference that I would say from when I went vegan till now is, I've already said it, but vegan now, finally, after all these years, I was always saying, when is it gonna get to this point? When is it gonna get to this point? It's now finally mainstream. I can confidently say that vegan is now mainstream. You see it everywhere. I mean, they have commercials on the freaking Super Bowl. People are in, you know, they mention it in sitcoms, whether they do it in a positive or negative light. I mean, they make themselves look ridiculous when they say it in a negative light, but still, I think people are going to look back and think how crazy they were back in the day when they ridiculed vegans for trying to do the right thing. How did I not have any nutritional deficiencies or problems as a junk food vegan for many years? I don't know. Honestly, and this could be the unpopular opinion, but you know, and I try to eat as healthy as I can now. But in my younger years, I was a junk food vegan, and there was really nothing out there to tell us that, you know, what was healthy or what was not. We're not easily accessible. It just wasn't out in front of our face what was healthy or what wasn't healthy. So I really didn't care, and I never felt bad, and I was, in fact, healthy. I just really, truly feel, and again, this is probably the unpopular opinion, but I just feel like most of the food I was eating, as unhealthy as it was really not that unhealthy. I think people kind of go crazy over, oh my God, you ate something with processed, that's so bad for you. And it's like, is it that bad for me? Because I did it for 18 years. I don't know. Maybe I was wrong. Who knows? I'm not arguing the point, but I did. I ate junk food vegan for a good 18 years. So I was very active too. So, you know, when I started realizing I needed to change up my diet and stuff, what I was doing as a vegan was when I started to get a little bit heavier than I wanted. Like, I've never been overweight, but like I was a little bit heavier than than I wanted to. I wanted to be more fit. You know, I'd always been a skateboarder, and I think it was pretty much after I had back surgery, really. And after I had back surgery, I couldn't really work out. I basically had to rest for a while. So I realized that I gained a little bit of weight and stuff, and I just wasn't like where I was when I was like, you know, an everyday, all day skateboarder, you know? So then I realized I needed to change the diet up a little. So what did I do? I went extreme raw vegan. Started working out every day, which I've kept up all the way till this day. I started working out every day, and I went raw vegan, and I lost, you know, all that extra weight, and I got really fit. And then I'm like, all right, I don't really want to be raw vegan anymore. Let's see if I can balance it out. So after that, I've learned how to balance everything out. So I could, you know, eat healthy, but then, you know, sometimes indulge in some vegan junk food and still stay healthy and feel good and feel fit with what I was doing. What happened to my back? In 2008, I think it was 2009, I did a workout wrong, and I gave myself really bad sciatica. I had a disc. Was it the disc or the cartilage pushing out against my sciatic nerve? And it was like the very worst case that you could have. And the pain never went away. Like a lot of sciatica cases go away on their own after a couple weeks. Mine didn't. So I was in constant pain every second of every minute of every hour of every day for 2 years. And I finally said, I can't live like this anymore. I feel like I'm 70 years old. I can't do it. I don't want to do it. I can't. So I went to the doctor and I said, I can't do this anymore. And I ended up getting surgery, and it fixed it. I look like I could be in my late 20s. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Right Ash. I saw your comment, and I watched that video. So some anti-vegan made a video about me, and I got to say, the first 12 seconds of the video, I totally disagree with him, and I don't understand it, really. I don't understand what he was trying to say. I'm not going to say who this person is because I don't want anybody to give him any views, but he basically rips on my health. And I don't see it. Like, he calls me creepy looking because of my eyes as a vegan. I'm sorry, dude. I don't see it. You know, like, people just ripping on vegans for being vegan and trying to come up with, like, something of them not being healthy. I just don't get that. But what I will say is the rest of the stuff that he said, which I don't know if he was thinking that he was, like, ripping me apart or whatever, but I gotta say I agree with him 100% with the rest of the stuff he said in that video. Well, when he was talking about me, I stopped watching it after that. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm just as perplexed as he is about that. So they were basically saying, I don't know, that my eyes look very sickly, and you know, I've had that, and the only people that have ever said that to me in my entire life are these anti-vegans. So I don't know what they're seeing. And he threw in that condescending comment like, oh, he's, you know, and he thinks he's healthy, and it's like, oh, who are you to tell me I'm not healthy, man? Yeah, I'm not sure who he is. I don't know if he's the right person, but somebody, if it is the guy that I'm thinking of, somebody wrote to me on Twitter a couple years ago and was basically like, do you have anything to say about this or that? Because I'm going to make a video ripping you apart, basically, you know, as a vegan. And I was like, what are you talking? I think I went back at him pretty harshly too, because I don't think I cared. But like, what's he going to say? What are we at here? It's at midnight. All right. I think I'm gonna finish this live stream in about 5 minutes. We'll do an hour. Another thing that I was gonna ask you guys. At the end of my live stream, I'm always wondering because I have so many of them, and I really regret it, but I just don't. If we could all think about what we could name the live stream after the fact, so it'd be easier if anybody wanted to go back and listen to something. So if you guys have any suggestions within reason of what I could name this other than After Dark, let me know. Vigo, yes, I am. It's probably the second best decision. The first best decision I ever made was going vegan, but that surgery, when I got home, I was like, wow, this was the best decision I've made, at least in that year of 2011. I felt so happy when I got out of that surgery and I could actually lay down on my bed with both legs extended without being in pain. It was great. It was a great feeling. I don't want to race. I don't want to give that dude any views or anything. I don't want to say his name. Yeah, there's a few of them out there. No, you're right, Daniel. I like the After Dark, but if we could put something specific, with the title of the video would be like something specific that we talked about, and we could sum it up in like just a couple words. I don't know if anybody. Sexy vegan hour. I think there's already a sexy vegan. My friend Brian goes by that name, the sexy vegan. Oh yeah. Well, first of all, if you change your diet around a little bit, you won't have acid reflux. I used to have that years ago, but I haven't had it anymore. But a really quick thing that works because I never would take Tums or anything like that. No medicine like that. But if you take, it's not going to taste good, but it will give you instant relief. If you take a little bit of water and you put like a teaspoon of baking soda in there and you mix it around and you drink that will save you. Yeah, Heather, that's what I want to do. I want to say After Dark and then put like the theme of the show called Awash. Well, I want to say I appreciate everybody here with questions and just Q&A time and having a little discussion here every night that I do go on. Wait. Call it brown nosing? What the heck are you talking about that? Brown nosing who? Dude, comments like that just like what are you talking about? We don't know what tonight's theme is right now, but it's definitely not brown nosing. All right, we got 1 minute. Let's get a title for this. We got After Dark live Tuesday night, and what's the name of the theme for those of you that were on here for the majority of oh. How about this? Here, I got one. There we go. When it updates, you will see it. But thanks for watching, everybody. Like I said, I have fun doing these, so I'll continue to do them. But I got to get going now. So, and watch out for Thursday because I'm going to try to do a live stream on the main channel Go vegan, stay vegan, and get your neighbor to go vegan. So I will see you tomorrow or the next day. Adios.